Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for some more Hong Kong Sevens in this matchup. It is one that we will get to see in the Rugby Union World Cup. But first of all, we get to see it in sevens format. Ireland taking on South Africa, two sides that would love to go far in this competition. And with the group they are in, this win is crucial. They have got New Zealand and Kenya alongside them. For the Irish, it will be Jack Kelly, Mark Roach, Harry McNulty, Andrew Smith, Matthew McDonald, Jordan Conroy, and Liam McNamara. Then for the South Africans, Zane Davids, Ryan Osterhuizen, Impivisa, Sifiwe Soyaswapi, Mfundo Ndlovu, Sean Williams, and Ricardo James Duarte, the last South African in that lineup. It is pouring down in Hong Kong at the moment. We did see it through the last game where New Zealand were victorious over the Kenyans, so they have already got their points differential up to plus 19. Whoever wins this game will certainly be building towards that. And we do see the South Africa Sevens in their away kit looking very nice indeed with the South African flag across the front. Got some great players actually getting the opportunity. Travis Ismail, Sebastian Job, and also Donovan Don, the last man that will be getting a chance for South Africa, maybe off the bench in this contest. But do let me know who you guys think will be able to win this contest between the two sides. In wet conditions, I feel like I want to say that South Africa have got it in their favor. They also just a little bit higher in the world rankings for the seven side of things at the moment. They've got Jordan Way as referee, 144th game in charge for sevens. And of course, you've got quick fire matches back to back to back sometimes, but a referee to get that many is very impressive indeed, getting close to the 150. But Mark Roach, he will be kicking off this one. I wonder if he's going to use that tactic of wiping the ball on the ground before grubbering it or before drop kicking it. Doesn't look like he's going to use it. He's going to bounce it a couple times, get it a bit more moist. And now we are underway. Ireland kick us off, kicking long. South Africa taking it nicely, and it is going to be the youngster Ndlovu. Does get dragged down inside of the 22. Ricardo James Duarte goes across to Sifiwe Soyaswapi, showing off his quick stepping. Now, back to the right-hand side. Ndlovu again. Back in his pace, he has got Impivisa on the outside, but he's not there. He almost put it straight into touch. Try and jump over that ball. The Irish, that's going to be a penalty advantage for a knock-on, in fact, sorry, rather than the penalty. That's dropped by South Africa, and it's going to be now a line-out. That's a scrum for the Irish. I think you guys can tell I'm very excited for this game. I've messed up like 7 times already. Hi, says Jan Lubran. Welcome in, mate. Do you feel South Africa are going to get the job done? Do let me know. South Africa in 7th on the men's series standings. Ireland in 8th, only 6 points, split the two sides. But if South Africa went all the way and won this competition, they could actually find themselves sitting in 3rd at the end of this comp, which just shows how close all of these sides are. Everyone in the top 8 has got a good chance of getting those Olympic qualifying spots that are 5th and above. Now ball fed in by Mark Roach going off to the right-hand side. Now, nice step. Big shot being put in there by Impivisa. On, I believe that would have been Liam McNamara, now wrestling his way a little bit closer to the line. Harry McNulty driven backwards. Great counteract from the South Africans, and Oosthuizen able to jump on it. Now passed off. Here comes, I believe it's going to be Sean Williams. Ball on the outside to Zane Davids, who's normally a tank when he runs with the ball. It's going to be stolen cleanly, though. Oh, the Irish had it, but then they did end up knocking it on. So the scrum feed will go the way of the Blitzboks again. So I should mention anyone watching from Ireland or South Africa, wish you a good morning, seeing as it is early morning start for these games. I should mention we have got plenty more rugby coming this weekend. We are going to be covering Super Rugby, the Champions Cup, some more sevens thrown in there as well. So anyone who's new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Looks like Zane David's currently getting some medical attention on one of his fingers, may have bent it the wrong way. Ireland have won their pool the past 2 tournaments, but have won just 1 medal, what it says there. But I should mention that it's an interesting scenario because South Africa normally struggle in Hong Kong. For some reason, that is one tournament they haven't been able to succeed in. But maybe, just maybe with these new young players in the rankings, could be what they need to get over the line. Right, Sean Williams about to feed the ball in. And he does. Ball available now at the back. Williams goes across. South Africa haven't found their way out of their own half as of yet, but Ndlovu just about to change that. We are now in Irish territory till they went back into South African territory. But it was for half a second that they were on the right side of the field. Impey Visa now driving hard at the line. He is tackled by Jack Kelly. Now Zane Davids has to play half, goes back across to Sean Williams. Now in the midfield, Saviwe Sawyers Wapi goes across to Ricardo James Duarte. Now trying to strip the ball there. I believe it was Liam McNamara. Doesn't manage to get it though. 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half. It was a rough pass. The ball has gone backwards though. Williams plays on, goes to Davids, pins his ears back, runs it straight. That is something that he should be trying very often for the Blitzboks. Make those few extra meters. Now Saviwe Sawyers Wapi trying to trust his quick stepping feet. Nice work from Ricardo James Duarte. Spinning out of one, but they've just managed to drag him down by the bootlaces in the form of Mark Roach. Bounce pass to Sean Williams at the moment. This Irish defence just doesn't want to break, but now they've got their numbers on the outside. Flat ball out to Impey Visa. Moves up to the 22. Ryan Oosterhuizen going now to Sean Williams. Saviwe Sawyers Wapi in the midfield. Got Ndlovu outside him. Instead decides to cut in. McNamara makes the tackle on him. Oosterhuizen now going off to the left. This has been a lot of phases in a row for South Africa, but Ndlovu, he finally breaks the line. And South Africa, they will strike with the first try of this contest. Ndlovu has been able to score it. Took him a while, took South Africa a while. Ireland are hardly missing tackles here, so it just shows that South Africa, their patience paid off. They could have easily rushed it, could have gone for a grubber, could have gone for something risky, but instead they just went, right, we've got time. Just keep on hitting up the phases. Eventually, the gap's got to open up, and that's what happened. Mfundo Ndlovu does score the try. South Africa now will get themselves a 7-point lead with a nice easy kick straight down the middle of the posts. See some deep breaths being taken by the South Africans. That's the thing. It will also tire them out being on attack. And Brandon has said, let's go South Africa. And there as well. They are now 7-0 ahead of the 8th ranked Ireland. Now they are sitting as 7th ranked at the moment, South Africa. But like I mentioned, either of these sides, if they have a really good contest here, they will make their way quite far in the comp and also in the overall standings. Going to be nicely taken by Harry McNulty, charging at Oosterhuizen, who drives his leg and tries to send him backwards. Also giving him a massive wedgie, which probably doesn't feel too nice. Liam McNamara, sorry, around the side of the breakdown. So we might see Jordan Conroy with the ball, and we sure do. He's normally a try scorer. A machine straight through. Oh, great tackle made by Sean Williams. If he didn't just manage to grab his shirt, he was gone. Wrestled down, though, because he was able to go again, Jordan Conroy. Going off now to the left. Andrew Smith decides to hang on to it a little bit longer. Roach going short side. Another good tackle made by South Africa, but now it's going to be a 2-on-1 out wide. Good carry and over the line. Slams it down. I believe Matthew McDonald, yes it is, has been able to score the try, and now Ireland back in it. See Supersport not showing IPL as a shock, says Yarnlu. It seems weird, but maybe it's something to do with the South Africa 20. Maybe there's some sort of deal that someone signed up saying that they weren't allowed to show other T20 competitions. It would suck if that was the case, but it could be. You know, that might just be the way that it's worked out. And New Zealand won by 6 wickets. Good stuff for the Black Caps. Matthew McDonald doing very well to just stretch out enough and slam that ball down, score the try, and the kick is successful. We go back to 7-all now in this contest with 1 minute remaining in the first half. And do you maybe have a link where you can watch it for anybody IPL? I think the IPL website should have a where to watch section. Because I guess depending on if you've got a VPN, maybe you could set it to Australia and use Stan Sport, but not sure whether Stan Sport actually does have it. That ball didn't quite go dead, so he will just be taking the easy way of tapping it down inside of the in-goal area, and now it will be a scrum from where he kicked it from, in fact, is the rule in the sevens. I forgot about that. It's a little bit different to what we see in rugby union. I have my first preseason rugby game tomorrow. Hopefully it does go all right, Paddy. So you do get on a bit of a roll and don't end up with any injuries in preseason. And the team was underdog now winning, says Brandon there. I should mention, speaking of underdog, Super Rugby at the moment, we are 48 through. Islanders are sitting 19 points to 17 ahead of Moana Pacifica. Now Sean Williams Question, ladies and gentlemen, yes or a no? Did it just lag for you guys, or was it just on my end? Do let me know, just out of curiosity. Now, Ricardo James Duarte does drive forward. See, at least the Tigers playing today. Also in the Champions Cup, they certainly are taking on. I believe they are playing. Oh no, I've forgotten who they're playing now. But Leicester, they do have their game. I know what time it is, New Zealand time. I've forgotten who they're playing though. Edinburgh, I believe it is, isn't it? If I'm not wrong. Now, it looks like Ireland going to be kicking this one in behind, finding quite a bit of space here. We are currently after the 7 minutes. The ball just curls into touch, and it is now halftime. 7-all between these two sides. I'm not sure what he is so angry about that, man, for Ireland. He didn't really, he had a decent crack at the ball, but didn't quite work out from Matthew McDonald. And how his network was bugging, says Brandon there. Yeah, so hopefully it doesn't do it too much throughout the next few live streams. I think it's just when I open that tab, it gets a little bit confused when I do switch between them. So I will note that and maybe not open those tabs during the live stream. Did All Blacks won against Kenya? They did. Indeed, they managed to win at 29 points to 5. So getting a decent points differential for themselves at this point. But every point's crucial in this group, as both of these sides will end up finding out fighting, says Brandon there. Tackles made 11 from the Irish, 1 missed tackle, 10 made by South Africa with 2 missed tackles. Neither side will be wanting the opposition to break through due to a tackle and not quite completed. We've seen a lot more ball in the hands of the South Africans at that play where they did probably go about 10 phases. Just wanted to make sure they kept that position, get through the line eventually. Like, that's the thing. Sevens is one of those hard games that eventually a gap is going to form. Like, only having 7 in defense, eventually someone's going to be lying down in the wrong place, or someone's going to be lured into making a tackle alongside a teammate. And then that's when you strike. Now 7-7. Someone will be victorious in this matchup, unless, of course, we see a draw, and then it makes it even more of anyone's game. But 13 minutes 30 time when we are going to see the matchup taking place between Fiji and Samoa. Should be a very exciting one indeed. And I should mention that South Africa could end up playing New Zealand in a massively important game tomorrow. Maybe both of them coming off a win, maybe one of them coming off a win, one of them coming off a loss instead. And like they've said, they were third, the South Africans, on the World Series rankings, but they have slowly been dropping 42 minutes, only 7. Oh, well, that's bad, says Badzer. Yeah, the scoreboard seems to be really struggling with the concept of how long a Sevens game takes. It's going to be kicked off by the South Africans, nicely taken there by Liam McNamara. Tries to spin out of the tackle, but Davids goes around the bootlaces. Now Harry McNulty, get him back up. That is a penalty. You cannot do that. Got back up to his feet. So they said no clear release. And now South Africa do have the penalty. Looks like they're going to be slowing it down here, not rushing anything. Hamish, I have called my friend going to Super Rugby. I'm not going because of the live stream, says Brandon. Yeah, because you were originally going to be going, weren't you, Brandon? So, I mean, if you've got a ticket, I would highly recommend going. At the end of the day, like, being at that game compared to doing the live stream for it for yourself. I mean, maybe you do a vlog instead of you at the game. I know that they normally do pretty well. Sean Williams feeds the ball in. I've got the advantage as well, so he's just going to pin his ears back and make as many meters as he can. Great tackle made there by Andrew Smith to slow him down, and they'll go back for the original penalty that did happen at the scrum time. Right, South Africa, I think they'll take on a scrum again here, or a line out for the corner. Sam Henry Sports has said, yo, welcome in. You've got a new profile picture, Sam Henry. Hope you have been keeping well. Scrum now for the South Africans. Okay, McNulty just asking Jordan Way what they got penalised for. I changed my channel logo and better. I do see that. Right. South Africa, I'm thinking they'll go wide here to Savui Sawyers Wapi. If they don't, it would be a missed opportunity. But Ireland should see that and rush up, which is why the man next to Savui Sawyers Wapi, if he steps off his right foot, carves up. Oh, they're going short side. Okay, that's a different plan. But Sean Williams makes a few meters. Right, now they've got to play that set play that I just mentioned. Get it out wide, make them think that Savui Sawyers Wapi's going to get it. This is almost playing out exactly right now. He's going to step off the left foot rather than the right. Doesn't find the offload in the end. Undlovu makes a few meters in the process. I believe South Africa is still going with quite a similar lineup to the start of the match. Ryan Oosterhuizen goes across to Ricardo James Duarte. Good hands from Oosterhuizen, picking it up with one. That is quite impressive to do in the wet conditions that they have got in Hong Kong. That is going to be an awkward bouncing ball. Sits up now for Safebi Wapi, trying to go around the outside of Jordan Conroy. Big fend, a big shot there. I believe the assistant had his flag up. That is going to be an advantage in favour of South Africa. Impi Visa, wide ball now. Ryan Oosterhuizen moving up to the 22. Weak tackle attempt there from Liam McNamara. Now Sean Williams once again going off to the right. Ricardo James Duarte to Davids Lovu, almost able to spin out. 20 metres now separates South Africa from the Irish line. He's had it whacked out of his hands, and that is going to be a great turnover opportunity for the Irish, although I believe that might end up going, oh, it does go their way. They've said that it is fine. Right. The question is, are they going to be going back to check that one of Safebi Soizwapi? Black Caps seal another series win. The leadership of Tom Latham beating Sri Lanka by 6 wickets. Says coding there, and he was going to the game. He got ticket but sick. He's not going now. Just come in, says Brandon. Oh, so he have to try and sell his tickets, won't he? Something along those lines. I just got back from golf, so hopefully it did go all right for you, Henry. I know that you were getting golf clubs for your birthday, weren't you? So they're going to be having a quick drinks break here for the players. I might as well do the same while we are at it. But welcome in everyone who is just now tuning in. We have got plenty of sevens that we will be covering throughout the weekend. If you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That was a great spinning bit of attacking from Ndlovu there. Ball hasn't found touch from the Irish. They're missing that opportunity now. Sean Williams goes back across to the left-hand side. Now, to the left, that's not quite going to be how he started, or at least how he wanted to start. Sebastian Job has ended up with the penalty going straight against the South Africans. Now going to the left-hand side here. Nice work from the Irish to hang on to this one, trying to step here with a few of their newer players who have just made their way out onto the field. That is going to be Fergus Jemphrey. Now Tom Roach going across to McNamara, still 45 metres out. And he did my dad and my wife are going. He is going to use my ticket, says Brandon. Which is favours to win. I'm picking Ireland, says Coding. It's anyone's game at this point. Ireland, they're a decent side when it comes down to those final moments. South Africa have a bit of a seesaw at times, but I'm picking South Africa for this one. They've had a bit more possession and they've looked a little bit more dangerous on attack, I feel. I'm going to the game at Palmerston North for the Canes game on Sunday. Got my clubs last year. There's Sam Henry. Right, it's going to be kicked in touch by Sean Williams now. Handling errors. We've just seen the one from the South Africans. Penalties conceded, 3 against Ireland, 2 against South Africa. Currently, these two sides, they sit at a draw. It just helps New Zealand that much more finish in first. But if it doesn't, then someone's going to be right on the Kiwis' tail after New Zealand were victorious over the Kenyans. Right, Sean Williams. Important line-out throw here. It's going to be about 30 metres out. Be thrown a little bit wonky there for that one, but does work out enough for the South Africans. Now, a flat pass almost intercepted, but well done. I believe it would have been, who was that? Number 10. I believe that was actually JC Pretorius. It's like another penalty going against the Irish. Morning, Kiwi lads. I'm off today. It's a hard one to predict. Blitzboks need to up their game. Seriously, says Rufus Tony coming in the stream later. Not that I know of. I haven't discussed it with him at this point, but I know that very soon he's going to be heading away to Malaysia for a month. So I assume that we won't have a Tony for maybe about 4 or 5 weeks at some point, but after that, I'm sure that he will be back on the channel as well, but I'm not too sure when he leaves. I think it was relatively soon, though. Like this currently, the odds say that South Africa have got that little bit more of an advantage here. And my dad very want to go. He was 8. He wants to go. He was 8. He wants to go. So my wife can't him. Brandon, hopefully you're good there in New Zealand. Is New Zealand playing as well? What time, says Roof? So we are sitting at 8:22. New Zealand just played up against the Kenyans, and they were able to get themselves the victory, 29 points to 5. So a decent start, nice inside ball from the South Africans. Now around the side here, a couple of the younger players. Now Zane Davids, geez, he's got a bit of toe down the wing, pushed towards the touchline. They may have to check this just to see his feet, but I believe Zane Davids may have just scored that try. Crusaders go, boys, let's kick it. Yeah, the Crusaders playing a little bit later on up against the Reds. We will be covering that one on the channel. And also, why can't Tony join the stream from Malaysia? Well, he probably could, but I don't think he's going to Malaysia to take part in rugby live streams. I think he's going there for a holiday. So I don't want to bug him while he is over there saying, hey, you should jump on for this one. Can you jump on for this one? Like I'm gonna let him enjoy his holiday while he's away. Same can be said about 2 Cents Rugby. He is heading to China, but they don't have YouTube in China or you can't use it. So he's going to have to try and do a VPN around there and whatnot. I'm coming from a YouTuber to another. When should I make another live stream, says Sam Henry? What one are you doing? Are you doing Rugby Challenge or are you doing something else, Henry? Or those ones? Yes, great work from Zane Davids to get it in the corner. I've checked it. It is completely fine. And now South Africa are going to be taking the lead. That man has got a deflated South African rugby ball. Or will just go over. Brilliant kick from Ricardo. James Duarte there. Just enough distance on it. Thanks as usual. You're brilliant, brilliant, Amish. Commentary keeps me sane as well. What's your feeling about this Hong Kong Sevens? I think I always have that same feeling of Fiji or Samoa, but I think New Zealand actually probably has a decent chance of winning this one. Just from what I've seen so far. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So that would be a good start, knowing what you want to actually stream. It's going to be a penalty to the Irish. They have still got one last chance as we are now sitting at the 14-minute mark. Anyone who doesn't know, South Africa did just score themselves a try in the form of Zane Davids, so they are actually ahead. The scoreboard is just behind. Now, they are looking to go off to the side. Tom Roach goes to Jordan Conroy. Maybe the draw could still be on the cards here. Conroy spinning out of one tackle, trying to get through another. Offloaded to Harry McNulty in the breakdown available. Now Conroy going off to the left-hand side, trying to lure in all the defenders. Just manages to get the two. Let's go to the Blitzboks. Get your butts moving. No time to snooze. Good try, says Roof there. Now back across for the Irish. Penalty goes their way. They will take the quick tap and they will be going again. Another chance. Right, what do you do? I mean, I want it to be. I want it to be. So you want it to be Rugby Challenge 4. So I guess it's just picking a time that suits you and also a time that you feel like your regular viewers will be available to watch is the other thing. They're the big ones. Anyway, you want to make sure that if you're streaming because you want to stream, not just because you feel you have to stream. That is a good tip as well. Because if you feel like you have to stream and you don't want to, theoretically, then you're never going to enjoy yourself while you are on it. And then people can kind of see that. It's going to be nicely thrown in by the Irish. All South Africa want to do is just put this ball into touch. They aren't quite going to be able to do so. South Africa almost won the turnover. Do they get the ball? Penalty to Ireland again. The game that is taking place around the corner, Fiji vs Samoa, will be starting straight after this one. Be sure to tune in for that as well. But that is going to be another penalty to Ireland. Still, the score is actually wrong. South Africa are sitting 14 points to 7 ahead. Hopefully, it updates itself relatively soon. But they are going to be taking on the scrum. Using up a little bit more time. But yeah, the next game that we are starting it is at 8:28. Fresh goal, wind blowing here today. Sunshine but crispy. Crusaders have also kept their momentum going. No slacking off. Come on, Richie. And also we have got the I just don't know what I would live stream Rugby Challenge 4. Says Sam Henry. So that is probably where you've got to decide if you really want to do Rugby Challenge 4 or whether you want to go to a different game. And then you got to pick what game it is that you actually want to do. Make sure that you are going to enjoy playing that game, because the last thing you want to do, that's another penalty to Ireland. Last thing you want to do is start a series or something and then cancel it after a few episodes because you weren't enjoying it or you don't feel you've got time to continue that series. The Irish now trying to step. Oh, wow, he's been slammed hard there. Gemfrey, penalty to South Africa, and that should do it. All they need to do is take the tap, kick it into touch, and they will win this game. They're already in the huddle. They've still got to tap it out, though. Make sure that no one's in the way. Takes the tap, kicks it into touch with Ricardo James Duarte, and that is the end of the contest. The winners of this game, South Africa, 14 points to 7. But we are now jumping over to our next live stream, which is Samoa versus Fiji. We'll see you all in a very short